Thank you for being here. My name is Norm Barshoff. I am an ordained Southern Baptist pastor. Managed to successfully go through 14 years of higher education, pick up 4 degrees, and pastor a mega church for 13 years, and drink my way right out of the ministry. I am an alcoholic, and the miracle is that for 15 years and 8 months, I have not found it necessary to pick up a drink of alcohol. Changed the way I feel and live life. Alcoholism cost me everything that was important to me. So I had a lot of different ideas when I was a pastor about what alcohol and alcoholics are and do and what this is all about than I do today. What I'm going to share with you today is my experience. Whether it's wrong or right, it's my experience. And so you may have a different point of view, and that's absolutely fine. The first thing I think you should know is that the stereotype that I had is that alcoholics were losers, they were weak-willed people, they were bad people, they were immoral people. That the amazing thing is, for example, do you know that a disproportionate number of Nobel Prize laureates are alcoholics? Do you know that the second man to walk on the moon was an alcoholic? Harry Laguna Beach had to get sober in my home group. A phenomenal number of playwrights, authors, people in the creative arts community. Alcoholics are a cross-section of society. My home group that I attend, Alcoholics Anonymous in Laguna Beach, I laughed the other day. I pulled into the parking lot and I parked next to a Porsche Carrera, a Mercedes 500, and a Hummer. We have at least 7 physicians in the room. One is head of cardiology of a teaching university. We have, Lord knows how many attorneys there. I'm not surprised that they're there. We have a number of therapists, we have a PhD, psychologists, and so on and so on. And then we have the housewives and the school kids and the guy who slept at Laguna Beach last night. In other words, I'm saying it's a generic cross-section of society, but we certainly aren't weak people trying to get strong. We're certainly not bad people trying to get good. I believe we are what Dr. Silkworth discovered back in it was about 1932 that he discovered that he met some incredibly wonderful people, 40,000 alcoholics that he worked with, some incredibly wonderful, gifted, kind-hearted, good people who were alcoholic. That's when he reached this conclusion that maybe the real problem that we're dealing with here is a disease entity. To my knowledge, he's about the 4th person in the world of that description, that this is a disease. And he said, I think it's a disease that strikes people in 2 areas. In the first place, it affects their bodies in a unique way. And the second thing is it affects their minds in a very unique way. And so we're going to take that concept and just work with it, spend a little bit of time developing what happens in the body of an alcoholic that's different. And then over here, we're going to say what happens in the mind of an alcoholic that's different. And then in the last part of the lecture, we'll just put these together and walk you through what you're probably familiar with is what you've seen in the lifestyle of an alcoholic. And by the way, when I use the word alcohol, alcohol is simply the name of a drug. If you're an alcoholic, you're addicted to a drug called alcohol. You're a drug addict. And to my mind, it makes absolutely no difference what the drug is, whether it's Oxycontin, heroin, morphine, crack, crystal, Valium, Prozac, whatever, sleeping pills of some kind. A drug is a drug is a drug. Okay? So if you'll just remember, they're interchangeable: alcoholism, addiction, drugs, and alcohol.